Hello students, and thank you for watching this new video lecture from Pass NYRX. Download us on the App Store. This is going to help you with the January 2016 compounding exam. Now before we start, we just want to let you know that we did not write the exam. We're not affiliated with the exam in any way. We don't know anyone on the board who does write the exam at all. We're just writing this based on our own experiences with what to expect. And the key thing to know is that you should always get questions on the newest laws for New York State pharmacists. So regarding that, there's two new drugs that you could administer to patients. The first one is Menactra, which is the meningococcal vaccine, and the second is the Tdap vaccine, which is the brand is called Addison. We're going to go more in depth with them as well as the other vaccines you should know, and we're going to give you questions on what they would probably write because it's questions we would write ourselves to try to trick you. So without any further ado, we're going to move forward with the lecture, what to expect in the January 2016 compounding exam. And the topic is immunizations. So we went on the New York State website and we saw the law and frequently asked questions. And the first question regarding it is what is allowed with a patient specific order versus a non-patient specific order. If you don't know what a patient specific order is, it's a prescription. All right, that's all it is, a prescription versus a non-prescription, which is a walk-in. So regarding someone with a specific order, which is a prescription, you can administer only 5 different types of vaccines: influenza, pneumococcal, meningococcal, shingles, the Zostavax, and the Tdap vaccine to anyone who's 18 years of age or older. And the second question is, what about someone who was a walk-in, which is a non-patient specific order? You could administer this only on one condition. It has to be approved with the guidelines under the Advisory Committee for Immunization Practices, ACIP. So according to them, pretty much anyone 18 years of age and over can get a flu shot, and anyone 16 years of age and older can get the shingle shot. And our references over here with the New York State website. And now we're going to move forward into pretty much what does this mean for you in plain English. So a New York State pharmacist can administer only 5 different types of immunizations, number 1. Number 2, a pharmacist can administer immunization without a prescription if the patient falls into the ACIP guidelines only. So that means, like I said before, if you're 18 years old and over, you can get a flu shot. So if you see on the exam someone who's 17, 16, 15, anything like this for a flu shot, or even a prescription drug for 17 years of age and no younger, you can't do it. And the second example is if someone is 59 years of age and he wants a shingle shot, you can't do it. But if the person does have a prescription, a valid prescription, then you can do it. All right, so these are the simple laws. Now we're going to move forward with the therapeutics and administrations of the vaccines. So you'll get the questions correct. You'll get the questions correct on the exam. First one is going to be the flu shot. You need to know always brand and generic and the administration site. So influenza, the flu shot, the brand is Afluria and the generic is influenza. You administer into the intramuscular, deltoid, which is the shoulder. All right, and what sticks out that you must know, you never give to an egg allergy. So if you see this on patient profiles, egg allergy, and the person is getting Afluria, boom, you know right away you cannot dispense because of egg allergy. I also put down how to store these drugs in your store. It's pretty much, they're always in the refrigerator with the exception of the shingle shot, the Zostavax, which must be in the freezer. They probably won't test you this on the exam, but on the Naplex you should see that. Okay, regarding pneumococcal, the brand is Pneumovax 23 and pneumococcal polysaccharide is the generic. Administered according to Lexicomp, it's either subcutaneous or intramuscular, and the deltoid muscle or lateral mid-thigh. You probably never saw someone do it in the mid-thigh. You're gonna do it only in the arm because let's face it, you're in a business. You're in Walgreens or CVS or a private store. You're not gonna pull someone's pants down for this. So they probably won't test you on this part with the specifics of the mid-thigh, but it's good to know. And I didn't see anything major sticking out with this drug, except for the fact that people faint a lot on this drug. So, and I don't know how they can ask a question on this. The next drug is the shingle shot. The brand is Zostavax. The generic is varicella virus. The admin site is going to be subcutaneous in the upper arm. Now, there's two important things you need to know about this drug. Actually, three. The first thing is there is a huge allergy to someone who has gelatin or neomycin, or anything or any other component of the vaccine, which you don't need to know that. All you need to know is the gelatin and neomycin. So if you see that in patient profiles, that the patient has an allergy to gelatin or neomycin, excluding contact dermatitis to neomycin, which means, like the creams, then you can't give it, period. Now, the second important thing you need to know, which is extremely important, this is a live vaccine, so you don't want to mess around with this. So if the patient is pregnant, has a weak immune system, for example, someone who has HIV or any leukemia, lymphoma, or anything like this, you do not dispense, period. All right? Remember, this is a live vaccine, so someone who's very weak, you don't give it to them. And like I said before, according to ACIP guidelines, if this is a walk-in, he has to be 60 years of age or older, unless they have a prescription. And like I said before, this is the only immunization drug that you could dispense that has to be in the freezer. Now we're going to move on to the two new drugs that you could dispense that we talked about in the beginning. The first one we'll talk about is the Tdap drug, which is the brand is Adacel, generic diphtheria, tetanus, toxoids, and a cellular pertussis vaccine. The admin site, pay attention, is going to be intramuscular. Okay? What sticks out that you must know? This, I would probably, if I was to gamble and put all my money on this, that they're going to have immunization shot with the patient profile, I will go all in with this. You need to know regarding this drug, you cannot give it to patients with progressive neurological disorder, including infantile spasms, uncontrolled epilepsy, ding, 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 or progressive epilepsy. Okay? So you need to postpone until conditionally stabilized. Okay, so what does this mean for you? If you see on patient profiles, the guy is on some type of drug that for epilepsy, like phenytoin or even Klonopins, all right, anything in that category, you need to know right away. Stop, do not administer. Now, the second question they're going to ask you, what do you do about it now? Okay, now that you realize the problem, what do you do about it? You have to say, anything with occurring within 7 days, you cannot administer. Wait until the patient is stabilized. That's it. All right. And like we said before, this needs to be stored in the refrigerator. And the last drug, which is Menactra, the brand, the generic is meningococcal. The administration site is going to be intramuscular. Okay. So again, intramuscular, intramuscular, intramuscular. And the only thing you need to know about this is that there's fainting, which is, it's not a big deal. They can't ask you a question on it. It's too weird. Only thing I would ask a question if I was writing the exam is, I'd probably trick you saying, oh, the doctor wrote directions, administer subcutaneous. That's pretty much it. So we hope you enjoy this. We want you to pass. This exam is not easy. Many students fail. I personally know some students will fail this exam 6 times, and they give me emails on how to help and everything. I try as best as possible because I know myself this is not an easy exam. I want you to pass, as well as all the pharmacists on this team. So if you want more information, download Pass NYRX to ace the compounding exam. If you have any questions, you could just give us an email or comments in our Facebook page. Like us on Facebook, and share this with all the students taking the exam so they could pass. And remember, one important thing to know, this exam is given every 6 months. Okay? So you don't want to take this exam, without studying and be like, I'm just going to wing it, see what happens, because you're just going to take it 6 months down the road again. All right, so you want this done for, and that's it. Moving on to your other exams like your NAPLEX and your law exams. All right, thank you again, and hopefully